Basically that's A, E, and the W sound. Ooh, the wow. So looking here now into the Arabic, this is your alif, right? Now for an alif to be a letter of med or an elongated letter, it will have to meet some conditions, as will the other letters. So now you got an alif. For an alif to be med, it's gonna have to have a fatha before it. The letter before it must have a fatha. As you can see here, you got an alif. The letter before it, this dad, this is a thick D sound, da, not the dal, till dad, a thick D as opposed to a thin D. This has a fatha here. This gives it a short vowel A. So that turns this into at least 2. Now why does it become 6? So it is met the condition to be a letter of met, that it is an alif with a fatha in front of it. That is the condition it must be. An alif must have a fatha before it, then it becomes a letter of med. And at that point it is 2 harakat. Now this I told you 6. Why is this 6? Because now this, when you're looking at this, the next letter that comes has a shadd. That means it's a double letter. You see this lam, which is the L, it's got this on top of it, looks like a American W. Yes, that thing on top of it, that indicates that there's 2 of those. As you see here with English, 2 L's, double L. So when the next letter is doubled and the letter has met the requirements to be elongated, as we said, it is an A sound, a long A, a vowel A, an alif, and it's got a fatha before it, okay? Then, in this condition, it becomes six notes of length. So it would be ضالين. Now of course the length of your harakat, the length of your syllables or notes, however you want to call it, will depend on how fast you read. So if you're reading really fast, like a speed kind of really jumpy, fast ready, then you know your 6 would be much shorter than somebody reading in a slow, really slow Tajweed style would be reading 6. 6 would be very long. So it's just, you know, as long as you could show your difference, like when it's 2, the listener will know it's 2, 4, and 6, like somewhat like you know, normal and then medium and long. You know, the listener will be able to tell. And then you got stuff that's 4 or 5, but the ones that tell you 4 or 5 will usually pick 5 for it. And then, you know, there's other stuff that have 6. So this was one that you had 6. Now for the other 2 letters, for them to be letters of med, the wow, we'll do the wow next. The W, look, this is the W right here, the wow. For that to be a letter of med, it must have a dhamme before it, meaning the loopy one that gives it the oo sound, e, oo. So it must have the oo on the letter before it. The A has to have the fatha before it. So it's simple to remember because the A got a fatha before it. That's like they're similar. They're both as, you know. So it's like a long vowel A with a short vowel A before it. And that makes it 6. You know, it's kind of harder to understand what the rules are when you're looking at the English because, you know, you can't see all the characters. You can still understand it when it makes more sense to you, because I can still look at the English and dissect it back myself, but you know, it might take some time. So it's pretty much for the wow, we said must have a dhamme before it, u before it, and the ya, the y sound, must have a kasra before it, meaning E, so it'll be E before it, and then it'll meet the necessary. Now we'll go to the next page. This is Surat al-Baqarah. Yes, we will start off here. As you can see here, these are called like the letters in Arabic they call them ahruf muqatta'a like the separated letters or something. These you don't read them as a word, you read them as letters themselves, as letters. So this is an alif, this is a lam, and this is a mim. Whenever you got the ahruf muqatta'a, these chopped letters in the beginning, these letters, they're either going to be 2 or 6 in length. Like alif is going to be 2, you see it black. And ha and ya, they'll be 2, but they're not used in this surah, you know. And there'll be other ones. Everything else will be 6, it'll be red. It's 6 must. So it would start off like this. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alif Lam Mim. Okay. Now, as you can notice, we see a new color here, green. The green is used many times in here, and you're gonna have to differentiate which one it is. Whenever you see a double M or a double N, it's gonna be, and you're gonna have to make something called ghunna on it. This ghunna or nasalization is gonna be for 2 harakat, meaning you're gonna elongate it, you're gonna extend it. When you get to that lam, you're doing the 6 lam. When you get to the M, the meme, you drag the first M for a while. So it's lam meme. Yeah, that's what the green is for. So here, as you can see, we're gonna have green again. It says meme. See, this is long vowel A, so it's ma, not mim. It's mim. The first M, you drag it, you make it long. Two harakat, 2 syllables, 2 notes, extra, give it that extra little drag. Wa mim. Okay, so that's what you do when you see the doubled up green. Now when you just see a single green, it's a little bit more difficult. The length of the note will be the same, 2 harakat, but now you have to do something. When it's a double, you're making a very strong M, very strong. You're pushing it. Mim, yeah, as much you could feel it in your lips. Mim, like vibrating your teeth almost. Strong. Now when it's a single, like this N is green, this is a different rule. This is called ikhfa, which means sort of like hiding. So it's not like that nasalization that you're giving for 2 harakat. Now you want to hide the nasalization just a bit. So the way you achieve this is, before, like, let's try a word like in. Let's show it to you if we could find it. It's pretty common, so I don't think we'll be able to find it. Yes, here it is. Kind of difficult to see that there, but that's actually 2 N's. Their page is wrinkled again. Let's find a better one. Okay, here it is. In Allah. Okay, in, you see that? Double N. In, you push the noon, the N, you push it, you drag it out for an extra thing. So it's 2 harakat. It's Inna Allah la yastahi an yadriba mathalan ma ba'udah. Okay, so that N, when it's double and it's green, you push it out, you make it heavy. It's all coming out of your nose. So if you do this, you say in, and you just kind of let it hum and go for as long as you can. If you just do that, and while the end's going, plug your nose, and you will see that the sound shuts off. It's like you just turned it off. I'll do it now so see if you can hear me. As soon as I plug my nose, you're gonna hear it shut off. Because the thing is, when you're doing this ghunna, that's why they call it in English nasalization. As you can see, they were calling it nasalization. That's because all the air is coming out of your nose when you're doing this, pretty much. And you know, your lips could be closed, but it's coming from your nose, whether you know it or not. In, you see, I just plugged my nose while I was doing it, and it went right off. So this is how you make ghunna. It's coming straight from the nose. Whether when you're doing the ghunna for the M, that one originates more from the lips, because the M comes from the lips more. But it's still going to be the same kind of principle, have you? So in and plug your nose, it shuts off. So now the way to hide the ghunna, the way you're gonna hide this in words that have a single N that's green, like here, right here, there's a few right in a row. ينفقون, another one. أنزل, another one. أنزل, another one. من قبلك, and we just ran into a new color here. We'll explain it right after. As you can tell, it's light blue as opposed to the dark blue, and it's something completely different. So this, to hide the N, to make the proper ikhfa, what you do is, instead of letting all that air go through your nose how you were doing before, whether or not you knew it, instead of doing that, you open your mouth a little. Hence, some air will escape from your mouth, and the sound of the N will become less clear. It'll be blurred out just a little. It'll be hidden. That's the name of the rule. Ikhfa, to hide, kind of. Hidden. It's going to be a hidden letter. You could still hear it. You will still kind of know it's a noon. But it will not sound like a normal noon that doesn't have this rule. It won't sound like like one that's left in black, like here. It's just nah, you know. It's just a normal noon. It's not gonna sound like that. You know, some words will have that. The rule it would have would probably be izhar. But now, you know, we kind of skipped a lot of stuff, and you know, we didn't really organize the lesson. But many of the rules, most of the Tajweed rules are going to be for something called Noon Sakina and Tanween. The Noon Sakina is the letter N that doesn't have a harake, meaning it doesn't have any vowelization. It's not like this. This has a ne. It has a short vowel. See here? Here it doesn't. It's not vowelized. It's just the N and then another consonant or whatever have you, another letter. There's no vowel in between, no short vowel or long vowel. When that happens and you have this noon sakine, as it's called, there's 15 letters that can come after it that will cause it to be hidden. Ikhfa. Like here you can see two different ones. The fa, which is the F, and the Z, which is the Z. Yeah? So, and then there's 8 letters that will come after it that forbid you from doing anything to it. So then pretend this one had the other rule. It would be unzid. You wouldn't be allowed to do it. But since it has the other letter, it's going to be ikhfa. You must say unzil ilayka wa ma. Yeah. أنزل ينفقون your tongue's just kind of chilling in your mouth, a little bit of gap between your teeth, nothing major, and you like your mouth's almost closed, but you know, a little bit of air is like your mouth is just comfortable, and you'll feel some air escaping from your lips.